in the blue. Fresh off a victory over Armani, he is the Zerg player with some of the best ZVC in the world, Solar. In the bottom left here, in the red, he is Force Ice Storm Gaming, the one, the only Special. All right. All right. So now that that has been dealt with, hey, you know what? When a game is lagging, what does Special do? He proxies 2 Rex. Solar knows this too. So he's going to get a scout off it. And we're going to have to see whether he can hold. Now, of course, Young Shive Cheddar. Man. Wait, nice. Well done. So, of course, the Proxy 2 Rex is not about killing a natural anymore. It's not about ending the game. If you're playing a ladder, sure, maybe. At the highest level, that's just not the case. The drone pools are good enough. Players are good enough to deal with it. It's all about getting enough drones to make it worthwhile. I don't think I've seen this happen in a while where the actual base goes down, anything like that. Maybe for 3 Rex or 4 Rex, but not 2 Rex. So the drones are going to get pulled here. It's only going to be 5 for now because they're just zoning out. They know there's only going to be 1 Marine. They're just zoning out the bunker. Now the rest of the drones are going to get pulled here. Solar sells out. Now the goal is twofold. You prevent the bunker from going up because if the bunker goes up, you actually have problems. But otherwise, you need to trap Marines. Nice marker there, but hey, 1 drone will go down. The number we're looking for is like 4 or 5. But Zerglings are out now, which means this pressure, it's over. It's done. And we're going to see 2 Reapers pop out here, which is really a special thing. No one else really does this, but he builds 2 Reapers out of the proxy barracks. And often he can snap up an extra drone killer too, just because his opponent is not really expecting it. That being said, Solar has overbuilt Zerglings for the occasion. He has made 8 Zerglings. He's got an additional 1 or 2 larvae. And that does complicate matters just a little bit. Why are the Reapers running home? I guess he's worried about a run-by. But yeah, no, Stephos, and generally, yeah, when I have a really heavy workout the night before, I'm just like, I sleep like the dead until the next day. Although I've done a really bad job of getting back on my workout schedule, my workout routine, since I've come back up here to New Hampshire. I was doing a decent job of even maintaining things when I was down in Dallas, but then I got food poisoning on Christmas Eve, and, you know, became a problem. Anyway. Second and third command center come down for Special here because when you 2 Rex, it doesn't work out for you. You got to find some advantage in the game. So you might as well go and say, hey, I'm going to go and, well, I'm going to build 2 command centers because maybe that's going to give me the position I need back into this game. But of course, the problem that's always there. How do you get pressure on a Zerg when they are just absolutely uncontested? You can try to turn this 2 Rex into a 2-1-1. That's not all that great. You can try to go and, you know, move into some weird secondary proxy. That's probably not going to work. Or you can just go and say, hey, look, you know, I've put enough pressure on the map as it is by going 2 Rex. Their creep spread is not going to be all that developed because, again, they had to build Zerglings early. There was pressure on the map. You know, it's expensive. Drones were pulled, so the queens are going to be a little bit late in general. It's a little expensive, so the creep is not going to be quite as out of control as like what we saw for Armani versus Ryung, where he just went 3cc play and nothing else. But look at this. Hey, but I love how Special's just keeping this barracks alive for forever. I would love to see him kind of land the barracks in that. I don't think you can land the barracks there. And build a Reaper or something, but anyways, it's going to be fine. So Special, he will lose this barracks. And he does, but that being said, though, he does have a little fancy fusion core come down in his base that will be able to deny the scout. So, oh, interesting. Special has taken his 3rd base on location now, which is a really great way to force your opponent to not look in your main. It's kind of, you want to look at that here because he's not going to be mining from this 3rd base. Not for a while. But what he can do is by kind of going for this third base here, as the Zerglings are going to find a couple Marines before the Hellions say, no, it's not allowed. There we go. Supply depot will be raised, which means this fusion core is not in line of sight. There's no vision of that. None at all. Point being, is by keep putting this third base here, it kind of forces run-bys, forces pressure on that third base, which does mean that the main base will be unscouted. It was just me. Claire's family is in another state. They're not in Texas. Nashville hot chicken poisoned me, I believe, as the Hellions are going to look to dive on in here, and they're going to see the roaches, which, you know what, is kind of a blessing and a curse. Now, Special's not going back here, as these Hellions are really not going to get anything done. Too many roaches, too many links, too many queens. But, you know, that means that there's not a lot in production tab that deals with this battlecruiser. It's kind of the blessing of it. The curse on the other side is kind of really roaches can run across the map. So we're going to see Special here. He understands that he can't really afford to, you know, teleport his battlecruiser across the map. Actually, I believe that may have been scouted. He can't teleport his battlecruiser across the map. But what he can do is run it across the map, teleport it back home, because he is going to be vulnerable to kind of a roach pressure across the map here, but he's going to find some roaches in the middle of the map. That's going to be a scout, though. So this battlecruiser is really not going to be all that effective, especially with the Spire halfway done. And that just means the Special's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. His pressure didn't get anything done. Is 1-1. Oh, I'm sorry. Get rid of that. Didn't realize I still had the ping thing up. I'm trying to see who it was. Yeah, I mean, this battlecruiser is not going to get too much done. The 2-1-1 didn't get too much done. Yeah, he got away with a quick third, but he's gotten away with it in the fact that it hasn't been punished yet, not the fact that it will not be punished. Because we have 8 mutas on the way here. Enough roaches to just be defensive. Hellions are going to try to dive on in, but it's only 2. There are roaches, there are lings. 2 drones die. Again, not enough. And now the mutas are going to look to run across the map here. And as this is 3cc play, mutas are really good against this. That being said, this is going to be an 8-rack from Special here. So he's just bouncing all over the place with this deck. It's really interesting to see, actually. As, you know, 3cc into battlecruiser into 8-racks is not something you see out of a 2-racks. It's not something you see all that often. He saw the tech lab on the starport, but that could just be for Banshees Stonate us. So, you know, Banshees would also be a very very reasonable setup here. And it could also be on the... no, he saw what the factory was, but... You know, again, Banshees could be the kind of very reasonable and almost expected play. 5 workers do go down, but that's going to be about that. Baneling's going to make good connections as 1-1's on the way. Now, mutas have really not been able to accomplish anything, surprisingly enough. There are no missile turrets. But I guess he just kind of pulled mutas out of the way for the moment so he could deal with this drop. And, yeah, the drop with the 1 Marine in it will go down. Yeah, the medevac will go down. Okay. But still, good job there. It means that the economy of Special really is going to be untouched despite everything. And he's actually been able to get a little bit of pressure on his opponent. And as this is 8 racks, this timing where he maxes it, he's going to be able to max out fairly quickly. He's building 15 Marines at a time. So with the tank sitting here on the map with the 1-1. By the way, 1-1 for the Zerg is going to be delayed. Solar Rent mutas. And it was a 2-Rex build, which means everything is going to be delayed here. So we're going to see whether Special can hit this timing. Certainly, I don't think he's going to be able to push too deep on a creep before 1-1 is done. But he will be able to probably establish his tanks where he wants to be. And this battlecruiser, if he targets down the Banelings properly, it's just going to be a little thorn in the side, some extra consistent DPS that will just really never die. Provide vision. I mean, the Queens can target this down, but really not going to look to do too much. So now Special, he's moving on in. He's starting to hit a supply, a little bit of an army supply. He doesn't know the mutas are here, so they will be able to knock this battlecruiser down because the Marines are somewhat out of position. Battlecruiser teleports home, which means what? Special, he's up 20 army supply, give or take, but 10 of that, 8 of that is in the battlecruiser. So realistically, supply is even. And considering how effective Roach or Ling Bane is, yeah, that's not exactly the easiest push here for Special. And he doesn't even have +2 armor on the way. So now it's push into the 4th base. He has been able to remove a little bit of creep spread here, but now it is time for Solar to make the big daddy of all breaks. He's going to get on top of the tanks here, but Special, he's going to hold. He says, no, No, you're not going to break Mirror. You're not going to break through this entrance position, which means Queens are going to start to go down. Tanks are going to get some good shots off. Now the Mutas are going to go forward. Baileys are getting target fire down. Special, he's absolutely making this fight happen. There is not enough anti-air, or excuse me, not enough splash here for the moment. The battlecruiser's back in the army as well. Mutas are starting to go down. No Bailings with this army. Tanks starting to get some really good shots off, but the reinforcements, they're going to do the job here, where the first push and the second push did not. Special is going to be broken back home, and yeah, he got 3 CC play. Yeah, this is an 8-Rex, but 8-Rex has to kill the Zerg immediately. Because remember, Solar, he's on 5 bases. Solar is on 84 workers, and even though these maybe have not been the most effective trades, they're within the ballpark of being good enough. And the economic position that Special is in kind of says that that's not going to be enough. He's not been able to explode, really just explode his supply as well as he would like. And this battlecruiser, I mean, it's finding something. Imagine if this was an ARAX play and Special hadn't gone for the battlecruiser, had not paid for the fusion core, had not paid for the battlecruiser. Maybe Special's hitting there with, 15 more supply. And this is very interesting, though. We got Liberators on deck coming from Special in this game. And I don't know how I feel about that one. I mean, it's if you get to, like, what is it, 6 Liberators, I believe that's when you kind of start to, do significant damage to these Mutas here. But we have Ravagers and we have Mutas. I mean, Liberators are not going to do all that much sieged or unsieged. And, I mean, against Banelings, against Lings. That being said, sorry about this drop that we saw earlier is starting to find a little bit of value. 12 workers will go down, even if the Mutas do find it. That's what Special's got to start doing. If he can leverage that position on the right side, that distraction to wedge himself on into this 5th base of Solar, maybe that could happen. But now Bane's going to come filtering on in once again. The Marines are not going to split well enough, not on that right flank. So Mutas, Lings, Bane, or excuse me, just Lings, Banes are going to come on in, and one drone for good measure. It's the BM drone. It's the drone that was accidentally rallied into the army. Now, the Mutas, they're going to get low, but there's not enough of them to really make anything happen here. Now, the rest of the Lings, the Banes, they find their way on in. Special again. His supply is down. His supply is out. GG. Solar, he takes game 1. In the upper left, in the blue, he's up 1-0. Here in this best of 5. Not falling for the Terran shenanigans of battlecruisers and 2 Rexes and 8 Rexes and all of these other things. The man, the myth, the legend, the sun. He is Solar. And to the bottom right, in the red. Hoping to tie things up. Hoping that something works a little bit better than, by the way, he's doing the weird thing. Anyways, he is Special. So Special's doing this thing that he, it's Special and Special alone does. Don't try this one at home, folks. So, on short maps, oh shoot, what was the map he did it all the time? Actually, he would do it a decent amount. I can't remember the name. It was like 2,000 atmospheres, but shorter. Why am I blanking on it? Anyway, he would do that. And he would put 2 barracks in the natural like this. It was effectively to proxy 2 Rax Reaper. But the barracks are at home, and they form a wall in the natural that defend your base. And sometimes he does this even on maps where you kind of need a factory there as well. But anyway, that's what he's doing here in this game. Solar will scale this out. But what it does mean is it's going to be 4-6 Reapers in Solar's base rather quickly, because Curious Minds is a really quick rush distance. And actually, it may just be 2 this time. We're going to have to see just how many Reapers that Special chooses to make. Now he's making more, so it's going to be like 4-6. It may just stop at 3, actually. And then, he tries to put pressure on. And, of course, he has a 2-on-1 kind of coming in behind there. So it's weird. It's different. Something that only Special does. But it seems to work for him, at least part of the time. So we're going to have to see whether it's going to work out for him here. As it looks like he's actually just going to stop on, I believe, 3 Reapers. Yeah, he does kind of a 3 Reaper. Never mind. I'm going to stop trying to say how many Reapers it is, because I don't know. Because this is a Special build, and all bets are out the window. And I have not seen it recently enough. Of course, Solar, He's going to go try to take the third base. Theoretically, the Reapers could kill that, but it's going to take forever and a day, and Zergling speed will be done by then. Not really worth it. So now we see here, of course, the posturing. Can the Reapers find their way on in? Where are there enough Zerglings to deal with that? And actually, a Reaper will go down, so the snowballing effect that you're looking for, not really going to be good. Oh, he's going to get the trap. That is unfortunate. So what we saw happen there, what Special tried to do, and that was really good positioning by Solar, is you jump one Reaper on the high ground until it gets almost dead. You have the Reaper on the high ground, the low ground, shooting at the Lings, trying to pair them off. And then once it gets low, you hop it down, you hop the other one back up. You do the same thing. You abuse Reaper. You abuse Reaper regeneration. But Special was not able to do that, as he has lost 2 Reapers. He is going up to 4, though. Granted, Zergling speed is done. You're not going to have nearly the timing that you're looking for. So Zergling is actually... what they're going to do, I think. And did he build that 4th Reaper? Oh, so he committed to the 4th Reaper. Okay, despite the Zergling speed being done. As I thought he was going to do here is just kind of sit the Zerglings off to the side, and then when Reapers pop out on the map, you just surround him and kill him. I thought that was going to be the goal. Looks like we actually got some packet loss here. That is sad. I do apologize, folks. That looks like we're good again. Great. All right, so behind this, Special, he's interested in speed running this series, regardless of how it ends up. As that is an armory going down. Zerglings are not going to be able to find the way in. But that is an armory going down. Those are Hellbats on the way. We're going to have Hellbat push coming out from Special in this game. He's going to have like 4 to 6 Hellions, or Hellbats. He's got a couple Marines with this army. He's going to have some Reapers that actually are going to be somewhat useful here in the defense, or in the offense, because they can just, knock Queens out of position so you can kind of section things off one by one. But Solar started to realize that, hey, wait a minute here. This is a little bit weird. This is a little bit funky. You're being active on the map. I don't like that. So Lings are being pumped out in force. There is no Baneling Nest, though. And Baneling Nest's somewhat useful. Incredibly useful in defending pushes like this. And, of course, the Reapers, they also serve as a really nice HP battery because, they heal themselves twice. They can get healed by their natural regeneration, and of course they get healed by the medevac. But even still, Zerglings are going to get this round. Medevac has been zoned out here. This is not going to work. Yeah, you lose some Lings, and that's annoying, but I mean, this is just swatted aside. There are now 7 Queens on the map, which is your nice, solid defensive number. I believe one. No, I thought one went down. No Queens have died. But at this point, Banelings are ready. Special's not going to be able to get much done here. Why, hello there, iHas Burrito. Hope your night is fantastic. Emphasis on the fan because you're a fan of StarCraft. Hey. Anyway, Eva Chambers on the way. Lair as well. Solar, Special may try to keep doing this, but with the Banelings on the field and just 7, 8 Queens, 9 Queens... this is not going to be much of anything for Special from here on out. So how is he transitioning out of this? We have, of course, Stim. That's useful. We have a 3rd Barracks coming down. Useful. Banshee popping out. Sure, maybe he can find something with that. 3rd Command Center. That's the key thing. But everything that has mattered... Well, actually, I'm sorry. There already is 1 Banshee out on the map. So workers are starting to go down. 4 workers have died. But that's 4 workers out of a 25 worker lead. Or what was the 25 worker lead? Now it's a 18 worker lead. That's fine. 4th base coming down here for Special as well, or for Solar as well. And this is not a new 4th either, where maybe Special can kind of sneak in with the army that he's got and kind of snipe the base because while technically Solar has what he defends, what he needs, if he's out of position slightly, he just doesn't have enough HP. That is not the story of this game. As now there's detection on the map here as well. It is only 1 Queen, which means that it's going to be a little bit harder to shoot this off. That being said, Banshee is getting very, very low for only 3 workers. And there we go. Now it takes 2 volleys here, this Banshee to kill a drone, and which means you can actually transfuse drones between Banshee shots, as we saw just there. A little bit of a cheeky move, as it were, but it does mean that, again, yeah, Special's just not getting much. But he does have a push here on the right side. This is one of the benefits of Curious Minds. There's a really strong pushing position on this right-hand side. Baneling speed is still about 20 seconds from completion. So, Special, he might be able to wedge as much as I've been talking about how this is not a good position for Special. He may be able to wedge himself in here before the tech of Solar is done. It's going to be about 10 seconds before +1 Carapace, +1 attack, and Baneling speed are all done. But it looks like that push from Special will not be able to get enough done. The Banshee, yeah, it's got 5 kills, but still, Solar, he's up 20 workers. He has his 4th base done. Baneling speed is now done here as the Banelings look to roll on in. Target fire from Special will be attempted, but it's not happening anymore. The drop in the main base will be the goal. Maybe. The Queens are, well, certainly you can pretty much commit your Lings into the main at this point because the Queens will be able to target fire anything down as they escape. Zerglings filtering on in, surrounding, swarming everything. And Special's army on the map. It's gone, it's done, it's dusted. And he's going to go have to find another one. But we're starting to see Solar just massively leapfrog ahead in supply here. He's got his 2-2 on the way. He's building 2 additional hatcheries. One, of course, macro on the main. 1/5. His army supply is up. His income is up. Special really has to find some way to make value here in this game, or it's just going to be a very quick 2-0. Now Ling's Banes are going to go on in. Maybe some Widowmine shots are going to be what you need, but no, they're just going to get target fire down. And Banelings, 12 of them on the way. You know, there's not a lot of Banelings on the map right now for Solar yet. He kind of used them, but that's only because... actually, I think Widowmine... Okay, it only got 4 kills. There we go, yeah. Why, hello there, Dragster. How's it going? Hope your day is as fantastic as mine. I worked on a proposal, worked on producing a video, went for a walk in the cold snow, and now I'm casting StarCraft. It's a good day. As the Widowmine's looking to burrow on in. Solar maybe making a mistake there, but yeah, no, he's going to be fine here. Special actually getting supply blocked as all of his supply depots go down. SCV's having to run into the National. Widowmines are nice split there, actually, with the Widowmines. As this push on the right side, yeah, it's not going to be able to get too much done either. The Queen's Lings are causing problems. Looks like the Banelings ran home, or did they all... Where are they? I guess, did they all die? I think the Banelings died. Nice job there. Good Widowmine shot, maybe. As we do this drop on the left side, though, yeah, Solar is just on top of everything. He understands the win position of the win conditions of Special, and it's just not allowing them to happen. GG Solar 2-0. So Solar in this deciding game, well, first of 3 deciding games, he's gonna go for some roaches here. He's gonna say, you know what? I think Special, you're gonna go for something aggressive, as he will catch that Reaper out of the map. I think you're gonna go for something aggressive, or if you're not, yes, this is a big map, but it does have a rather wide open natural. Certainly you're gonna find their way on in. So I am going to make it so you don't get to mine from that. This is, of course, 19 drone roach timing here, so it is a bit more committed. And this is with Zergling speed as well, so it is much more committed. And Special has no idea about what's happening here. He's got a Liberator popping out. Liberators against Ravagers doesn't really matter. And in fact, that's the idea is an aggressive timing anyway, you know, running across the map. But now the roaches have been scattered. SCVs are going to get retreated into the main base here. Special has to hold this or he's going to lose this game. He's going to lose the series. And he is going to lose his shot at a grand finals of EBT Korea. So now we're going to have one roach move on forward here. It's only one Ravager for the moment, which means that this doesn't get burst down too quickly. But on the flip side, there's no damage here. This roach army is not going to go down all that quickly. So now the roach is filing on in. Zerglings looking for the surrounding behind. Special's heavily supply blocked here. The bunker is going to try to complete, but the Zerglings are going to surround it, so nothing finds its way on in. And yeah, the Liberator is going to siege on up, and it does mean these roaches are going to go down eventually. Eventually, someone's going to get zoned out, but not before 9, 10 workers go down, not before the Marauder goes down. And the Liberator is going to spend so much time unsieging and resieging that really not much is going to happen here. And you got to remember, it's all Zerglings from here on out. It's not about the roaches, not about the Ravagers. They have done their job. They have punched their way into things. A Special down on 15 SCVs, starting to go down here. The repair, he doesn't really have the service area for it. The roaches, the Ravagers, the Hellions are going to go down as well. Biles knocking down some more SCVs. Special on 12 SCVs. And honestly, he can knock his Liberator down soon. More Zerglings pile on in. And at this point, I mean, there's nothing in the bunker. There we go. The Liberator goes down too. GG Solar. He 3-0 Special. He moves on to the finals. It's going to be Solar. It's going to be Hero. PVC.